What? Legendary Talks here, episode I think 84. I have Mami who's joining us from Japan. Very exciting. Oh, she joined right now, right on time. Okay. Excited to chat with her. Welcome, everybody. What is everybody drinking? I'm drinking Belvedere and soda.
I try to keep it Japanese. Try to show up on time. Try to do thing on time.
See that? You're right on time. How are you?
Hi, Han. How are you from Japan? How's everyone?
Live and direct from Japan. Hey, Claudine. What time is it there?
11 a.m. on Thursday. So good morning to you guys.
Good. You're in the future. It's I'm in LA, so it's 7 p.m. right here. So.
Okay. How's the mood there in in LA? Like how's it going? Like everything. I'm talking about everything. The energy and mood and we live we live in this new normal life now, so.
Yes, I've heard Japan though is in good shape, no?
Yeah, Japan definitely keep a low number because as a culture, we are known for clean. You
guys listen. You guys listen. Like as a culture, you guys listen.
And also the culture of wearing mask all the time, all year round. No matter if it's all season, even summertime, we keep the mask. Because people ask, are you sick? No, it's a true thing. We are wearing it not to get sick, especially in an airplane, so that way when somebody sneezes and cough, we make sure we don't catch the virus. And number two, we do it. What if we have something that we'll give to someone when you sneeze? So very considerate. So masking culture is easy for us, yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for doing this from Japan. I know it's not the easiest. I had my friend from London do it. She woke up, DJ Nikki Beanick, she woke up at 3 or 4 a.m. to do it. So.
No, my pleasure. I'm so happy because I've been watching your interview and everybody I knew was on it. I was often on it, right? I was like, hey, from Tokyo. I'm like a little groupie, like, hi, everyone. I miss everyone,
I asked Shin to do it, but he won't do it.
Yeah, he's been enjoying doing bonsai. He's like doing like cutting trees, and he has a garden growing. Like
okay.
Yeah.
So we're here. You've seen it before, but here we celebrate people that have been influential or important to culture, as you know that. Mm-hmm. And I think that you'd be a great person to talk to. So I want you to, so people that are on right now, Nellie's on, Chandra's on, a couple of New Yorkers are on, my friend Claudine's on. I want you to describe yourself.
Okay.
I didn't know you.
Okay, so can I put camera like this? Is it hard for you to see? Am I getting twisted? Okay, no. Hold on. Let me set it up right because I was holding it. So I started my career.
Hold on. Has to be this way.
Oh, it has to be that way. Okay, got it. Oh, let me hold on 1 second.
That's good. No.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Like this, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I started my career. I moved to States when I was like a teenager in high school. I went to school in LA. I grew up on very strong Chicano culture. Like I lived nearby where Cypress Hill, went to high school. So my American dream was like a Sandra Dee, like, Danny Zuko, like a Grease movie. When I walk into the school, I was like, oh my God, it's a lowrider. I don't see any blondes. It's all like Cholo and Chola culture, but I loved it because like kind of Latino and Asian culture share the very like, sort of like, we are not like, we're like in the middle, and family value and everything. And they eat rice. We love rice. So I was happy with the cafeteria. I don't have to stuck on pizza and hamburger. So I was happy with eating rice. So yeah, anyway, so that, but I was working already for Japan market. I was always being bridged between Western to Eastern. Japan, anything that happened in America, I bring the culture to Japan, whether fashion and music. But I came from music because I was such a music nerd, I had a karaoke machine at home. I was always listening, singing like black soul music, And then Japan's known for like very strong black soul music culture. So was a reggae and raga. So I was always like lip singing all the, R&B song in karaoke growing up. So I knew all the song without knowing what I'm singing, So I was learning the dictionary. That's how I learned how to speak English, by looking at the line notes.
Wow.
So I was listening to the music, and Tina Turner and James Brown, and I was all into like soulful music and R&B. And I started, like I said, Japan has a lot of music nerds, which is a great thing, which they are heavy on record collectors, sneaker cultures, anything you love, Japan's seeking for it. So I was seeking for like going records and looking at, say, who produced it. I kind of know, studying about it because I love the music so much. And I grew up, when I went to school in LA, there was a time of LA was making sort of a subculture, underground culture, where like a breakdancing happened, graffiti happens, and hip hop, happens. And I was just in the right place. And a friend of mine, my brother's friend, started Street Magazine in Japan, and they needed some like information from what's hot in America. So I was like, I could do some reporting. Like, the place I go to, I used to ditch school. Like, I hung out with all the party girls. That's how I never learned how to, speak English in school, but I learned how to say, hey, at the time, like, orale esse, what up, home type of thing. So it was more like Chicano English, but that's how I learned how to speak English quickly. And I was start interviewing graffiti artists, and there was a local fashion show. Like, there's so many creative things happening. So I started introducing that to Japan, and as the years goes by, it started becoming my career. And I became the main interviewer for the magazine, and my magazine was selling like $10,000, 10,000 like circulation copies in Japan. And Japan street culture started happening with a lowrider in it, the Nike Air Max to the hip hop, and there was Farside and Cypress Hill and Ice-T and Zulu Nation and blah blah blah. Like, that's why the Crazy Leg and everything that we are friends of, from back in the days, because Leg was in Japan for Wild Style movie, and he started Rock City Cruise Japan because Japan was big on graffiti artists and breakdancing. So yeah, and I moved to New York. I was known this girl as like anything they talk to mommy, either you get a promotion for Japan, or you could go to Japan. Like, I became one of those, like, the girl that are from Japan that lives in New York type of thing. And I got a call. A friend of mine said, you know what, they're starting BET Rap City for Japan. So that's how there's demands there. Strong, people are hungry. Out of all the Asia, Japan was first hungry for street culture, hip hop, and breakdancing and graffiti and fashion, and we have it too. But they really wanted it something like more local. So BET decided to do Rap City Japan before even Europe. So I went to audition. At the time, BET was in DC. Or the DC was into go-go, Anyway, so I took, at the time they made me take a train, the Amtrak train. I was on a train, went to DC. And I went to audition, and then I sit there. So they told me basically, so tell me about Black culture in Japan. If you really think about it, it's a funny question. Like, Black folks asking Japanese girl, like, sitting in a room. So tell me what's going on in the Black culture in Japan. Oh, I broke down. I told everything. I said, there's a reggae, raga culture, dancehall queen Junko, who won the dancehall queen contest in Jamaica, Kingston, on the Sean Paul videos, and I just went on for hours. They were like, whoa, what are you talking about? I say, African Bambaataa came to Japan, Five Five Freddy, Crazy Leg, they came to Japan, and actually the Wild Style movie premiere in Japan before U.S. So this is how much Japan was hungry for Black culture. And then I basically schooled them in a way. And they were like, you know what? We don't have to call you. You're hired. I'm like, yes. And then I became a BET Rap City Japan host based in New York. And I used to go to Kung Fu class with Riza. There's a whole Wu-Tang. Yang means Sifu. Sifu means master in Chinese. He has a temple on Broadway back in the days, in 90s. So there was me, Rosie Pratt, Wesley Snipes, Riza. He brings sometimes the Wu crew, but the training was really hard. So, I started hanging out with all my, Chinese, like, Kung Fu, masters and skill people in downtown New York. Although, downtown New York scene was very mixed anyway, doesn't matter what color you are. I mean, it's really sad to see heartbroken what's been happening in America. But basically, yeah, so I became a host of the BET Rhapsody and kept me busy. I interview everybody you name it. I interview, of course, Nas, LA, Busta Rhymes, I mean, you name it, even Kelly's, everyone in the mother. And then BET thought, at the time, BET wasn't ready for international segment because I wanted to air that segment when RZA went to China to visit Wugen Mountain. The Wu-Tang Clan name come from China, from the mountain that the Shaolin Temple located. So I wanted to air that because at the time, BET was going bling bling life. But I think hip hop also covers culture elements. And I think where I came from is very culture background that I thought was very important to share, but BET wasn't ready. Tibet Freedom concert happened in Chicago. And then I told my producer, to me, you know, Blondie is a hip hop. 5 Freddy, Discover Her. And, you know, that's, to me, it's a hip hop music. So they weren't sure what I'm talking about. But one of the producers said, you know what? You're right. Let's take a chance because hip hop is for every color. And, you know, and I understand, you know, it wasn't usual in 90s, you know, when I'm not going to lie, when I go interview, they all look at me. Why this, what are you doing here? Like, what is this Asian girl? Are you sure you're going to interview me? You have a skill. Do you understand even, do you even speak English sometimes?
No, do you understand? They were probably wondering if you understood the culture. Really understood.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. No, I get it. You know, so but it was. I found it very positive and took a very compliment. Yeah. Because I used to go to Zulu Nation, and then this Japanese gangster DJ Yutaka introduced me to Afrika Bambaataa. So he started me join like Zulu Nation Japan. So I used to go to South Bronx when I was in high school, when Crazy Leg used to do the Rock City Crew anniversary. I used to bring all the Japanese MC and breakdancer to join. They were so kind to me. They are so welcome. They open, you know, arm and, you know, and I just basically bought all the culture to Japan. Like, you know, I bought Pharrell to Japan. I bought the Wu-Tang tour. Like you name it, everybody pretty much went to Japan. I was involved, so I became sort of the, you know, the host of it. And I started a radio show with Stretch Armstrong from New York to Tokyo. I had a radio show from New York studio to Tokyo. So I was a BET Rhapsody radio host. I did a show with Stretch Armstrong, introducing all that latest music to Japan market. Anybody who's going to Japan, basically, I'm the I don't want to call my promoter, but I was booker. I booked them for a whole tour. And yeah, I became Mami-san and Mama-san. I think that explains it, but I think it's more. I think more comes up. Yeah.
Were you there when I was in Japan with Shin and Beyonce and them? I think you were there.
I was actually. I just like you guys. You guys told me afterwards. So I was in. I left to Europe.
Got it.
Yeah, but you know, you came. What did you think about it? What did you think about it? It was the first time. Right?
It was such a really quick trip. We were there for 3 days, and we hosted a party. We did something with Lady Gaga, and then Beyonce, Solange happened to be in town.
Yeah.
Beyonce was performing, and Solange was in town, so we had dinner with them, but Shin organized the dinner.
Yeah,
yes. It was a private dinner, and Shin was being Shin, but... okay, so I want to ask you some questions now. Yeah. So you are obviously born in Japan, and you moved to LA when you're 18, you said?
No, 14. Okay,
so prior to LA, what drew you into hip hop? You said that was what I mean, you said, you know, like you were learning English and things, but what really drew you in? What was the,
you know what it was? Growing up in Japan, was very...
What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking alcohol because I just started morning. I'm drinking my matcha.
Belvedere and soda. Cheers.
Cheers. I'm doing matcha.
I'll do that tomorrow morning. I'll do that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm doing the matcha morning. Okay, so growing up in Japan was very, I didn't know that freedom exists. I mean, it is freedom. That's why I think Japanese people are so extremely into fashion to express their freedom. Because of the culture known for strict and perfection, that we have to wear strictly, like, you know, kind of England, to a uniform. You cannot do any makeup. You cannot chew. And the minute that I got introduced to hip hop or like American culture, I felt the freedom. You could be whoever you want to be. Like sort of you do whatever you want to be, you know. Sometimes that people, I get it. When I grown up now, too much freedom is an issue. Maybe it's important to have a rules, but at the time when you're a kid, 14, you want as freedom as possible. You want to go outside and you don't want to come home late as possible. So I just felt that like, wow, like everything was wow. Wow, she has a makeup on. Wow, she wear a mini skirt. Like she's wearing this color of shoes. Like in Japan, we get like, no punished, but everybody has to match. Like the hair has to be certain length. Shoes can be flat, like shiny. You have to wear like settle colors. Skirt length has to be long, not to show your skin, as you know. So I was so excited. So I felt freedom. That's what I felt.
That's a great answer, by the way. What's the first hip hop song you remember?
What hip hop first song I remember?
The first, yeah.
Rakim. So many. Hold on a second. First, actually, Karis One album was dope. Public Enemy, NWA. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit old school.
Yeah, no, I love Public Enemy and
yeah.
NWA. So.
I mean,
like, I love them all. Rakim, everyone you mentioned, I love. So
Rakim, and then I love the Kumo D, and I like the Africa. I like also funk too. I like Africa Bambaataa too, and I just love Prince and Tina Turner. I used to watch this like MTV of a Japanese version of it. I don't know what word they're saying, but I felt their soul. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, and then Diana Ross, and I was just anything that's called soul. They have a Soul Train in Japan, by the way. So when we used to watch, isn't it cool? I'm talking about this back in like late 80s, okay? So I was watching like a Soul Train. I was like, wow. And you know how Shane has an afro. You know where that got that from? Japan was showing it. I'm talking about before even hip hop, like Soul Train.
Yeah, I remember lots of Asian guys having afros in like the 90s and stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So we got it from the Soul Train, I think.
What's the first video you remember? First music video?
In the hip hop or everything?
The first video that blew your mind.
Michael Jackson.
Everyone says that. Okay, first hip hop video.
Oh my God. Okay, Michael Jackson. Oh my God. I watched it like literally 20, 30 times a day.
Me too. They used to put it on. They used to put it on MTV every hour.
Yeah. And I remember it was a beta. You had to tape it, the beta. I was like tape recording it, and my mama went to sleep. I was like, she's asleep now. I go to this TV room, put in my beta cassette tape, and I was like, it was just like, it was so, my heart was melting. And I was buzzing. And I was dancing myself like something, you know?
No, it made me feel kind of tingly, you know?
Yeah.
What's the first concert you went to?
This first concert, actually, you're gonna laugh because at the time, not that many my favorite Black soul artist was traveling, but Bon Jovi was. So I went to see Bon Jovi. I went to Bon Jovi. Yeah, and then I went to Bon Jovi and Metallica. I went. And I was also rock girl, so I went to Metallica and Bon Jovi and Motley Crue.
Good one. They're all together.
Yeah.
Were they all together?
No, they were together then, but no. It was just individually. But I just every time because Japan had money for rock and roll at the time in the 80s and 90s, so promoter could be able to fly them. Hip hop didn't really start it yet as a mainstream, so they're bringing a lot of rock band. And
then during that time, who influenced you? It could be could be a rapper, could be a family member. Who do you think was your like kind of main inspiration during that time? Could be a famous person, could be your aunt, could be who you said hip hop made you feel freedom. Who inspired you to feel that freedom? Who encouraged it?
There's so many people, and I watched the subtitle Color Purple when Oprah Winfrey played a role.
Yep.
And that was the first time I got to understand the race, like slavery. Because I live in Japan, we basically we are mixed, but not like America. So I didn't quite understand. I wasn't around like sort of the slavery sort of issue until I arrived.
Well, what we've learned this past year here, at least in our country, is that they don't teach us anything really about slavery. So they really don't teach us.
Well, I mean, I can't believe history repeats like this, I was in LA for LA riots as well. So basically I felt wow, you know, and then I understand, and then I start crying because because my mother is a gospel choir singer from church. I grew up on Christianity, and then we sing a lot of gospel music too. But it was like, and I saw Oprah Winfrey's interview after, and it touched my heart, inspired me as a woman, who she is and what she wants to deliver. So that left me in my heart that you know what, I have some job to do, even though I was a young age, because I felt this is very important to pass it on to people, you know, the true history, you know, something that, you know, we have to learn and pass it on to the generation. And also Japan doesn't have a strong woman status culture. Women was low than men, and women doesn't have a real career, like, you know, always in the back kitchen making tea, bring it to the men. Yeah. So that encouraged me, this powerful woman. So is Mary J. Blige. First time I interviewed her, I just broke down and cried. I love Mary. Every song she, like, you know, writes and wrote, I feel like how she knows so much we're going through, the pain, you know?
The thing about her, it comes through her. You know, it's like when she sings a song, first of all, when she sings like her songs from, oh wait, you're freezing.
Hey, I lost you for a second. Yeah, what were you saying?
When Mary sings a song from 20 years ago, she makes you feel like she's singing it to you for the first time, number one. And something about it comes through Mary, it comes out of Mary, like to us, is what it is. Her pain and the emotion comes through her, you know, so.
It's very amazing. Powerful. So she's another one. And then when I met Janet Jackson is the same.
Have you met Janet?
Yeah, Janet was Yohji Yamamoto came when she was in a concert. So I was with the whole Yohji Yamamoto Y3 crew. And then I can't believe it still. I still remember Yohji Yamamoto. I mean, he meets everyone, right? Everybody, Mick Jagger, and everybody asked him to make a clothes for him. And you know, and he watched Janet's show, and afterwards we go say hi to Janet, and we're hanging out, and he goes, "You dance very good." and I told Yohji-san, like, Yohji-san, you know, she's a Michael Jackson sister, you know. He goes like, "Oh, that's why it's in the DNA. You dance good." And I was like, "Oh my God."
That's funny.
Yeah, that was really funny. And Janet said, "Thank you." And then she loved Y3, so we took her to the showroom, and she's another one. She shared with me how Japanese culture, she's been coming to Japan when she was young, because obviously Jackson 5 was popular in Japan, coming to Japan at an early age, and she still comes, and she said Japan is a special, place in her heart, because culturally it's very respectful, which she loves, and clean, and minimalize the decoration, and it's just clean, and it's just people respecting culture, and she wishes that the world become like that, So she comes, she says she comes, all the time. So it was also.
She was there in the past year to perform. She was there in the past year.
I went to see it. Yeah, but she looked amazing.
I did a couple of events with her last year. I did her Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after party and her album release party, a couple of parties last year with her. So.
Oh, I mean, I saw the picture. Amazing. Yeah. Of course you did.
Okay, so when did you move to New York?
I moved when I was in 20s. Like, I don't remember. Like, I lost the track when you become certain age, 20s. I was going college. And I was doing a Rap City thing, and I was living in New York. I was doing the life, and first time I met you, I don't know, you were working for Noir. I
love that job. That was fun.
They have a store in Mobile Street.
On Mott Street. I love that. That was fun.
And you were there, and I remember you was like, he is the fashion guy. And I remember, like, and then I always bump into you, like in New York, when you walk around, you bump into everyone. And then of course I was partying with Patty and everybody back in the days already, but downtown girl, like Asian downtown chick, Patty, Mary.
I talked to Patty today.
Oh yeah, she's in LA, right? Yeah, everybody became Mama-san, right, Mary?
You froze again, boo-boo.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, I want to talk about New York in that era because it was a really special time, as you know. I wore this shirt, my Tupac shirt, because of that.
I see.
What's the first club you went to in New York that you remember?
Okay. I remember first club in New York. Nels, Rebar, Bill Spector, Music
Yep.
Cafe, Mark Lavelle,
Yep.
and I went to Club World for because I was a party girl. Like knowing after hip hop ends it,
Listen, I know that's right. Listen, I was
I,
thinking about you today. I was like, you were everywhere. You were just
I
everywhere, like always. You were. I was doing the door 7 nights a week at all the hip hop parties. I would say in the late '90s, you know, and you were literally everywhere at all times. Like I would sometimes go from 2 parties in the same night. You'd be at, but you were just everywhere. You were
I
everywhere.
was
Total party girl.
4 nights it out. Yeah. So when a hip hop club ends at four in the morning or 3, I go to my after hours. I go to my house club, right? When I save the Rava Avenue B, I go Club World Avenue C. And in my weekend, I spend a lot of time in Twilo, Club U.S.A. And I go in sometimes Friday night. I walk out Sunday morning, totally walk of shame. No, it was Monday morning. No, it was Sunday night. I don't remember. Walk of shame with my cup of a drink that has so much going on. Yeah, that was my duty. I was patrolling.
You were a party girl, that's for sure. I mean, we all were, but
I went out.
But I remember. So I was wondering as I say, when did we meet? So we met at the Noir store, and then I feel like you were just everywhere. Then I saw you like every day of the week, literally 7 days a week. I remember you. I remember you kind of around that same time. I was doing some stuff spread with Frank 151. I was doing a lot of 151 stuff, but I feel like you were too. Frank 151.
Yeah. I brought them to Japan.
Yeah.
And they wanted to publish their magazine in Japan, so I organized for them to meet all the people. But let me tell you, Mikey and the whole crew was a very character to Japan.
Yes, still are. Mike was on here last week. He still is. Same thing.
Yeah? Okay. So, they're still the same, huh? Amazing.
So who was your first like New York City crew? Who was your crew in New York?
I have several. Like, I have a group that are early, like, okay, if there's a record company, had not Japan, America music industry had a money then, because the hip hop was like every weekend there was a music release party that Jessica was organizing. Yep. So I don't know if you remember DJ Carey. She signed to Funk Master Flex. Yep. She was DJing for, Jessica was hired all the time, Carey and Mark Ronson and Stretch, downtown DJ. And then of course, all the respect and thankful Jessica to put DJ Carey, the first Asian girl to be on the downtown parties. So I hung out with DJ Carey a lot. And then, of course, like, I say Patty, Mary, Julie, all the hot Asian girls in downtown crew. And Shin, later on when she moved to New York. And I drag him all the parties. And he's just along with it with Jack Daniel, You know how he always called the Jack Daniel Jackie Chan? So he has a whole bottle himself. Like I go with my Jackie Chan.
I remember, I had Jessica on here about 3 months ago, and
I watched that. I loved it.
Hers was one of the best ones. It was so
amazing. Jessica literally gave everybody a job. Jessica literally put everybody on the map. Like literally, she has the eyes for it, and she's a true New Yorker to me. I don't know, Dante Ross is very New Yorker to me, the way they are. They know who they are, they're real. They're no bullshit. They go straight to the point. They know what they're doing, what they deliver, and I love them. And her party was a dope. Her party, like, all the party I went, like in Law 61 when she did a lot of stuff with Puffy, and also the Club USA, New York clubs too.
Club New York,
and so much. She was doing so much.
Club New York was Tammy Ford's party, I think.
Oh, was it? Okay, I'm sorry.
But I like what you were saying too. So yeah, around that time, let's say the late '90s, early 2000s, downtown was very mixed. It was very it was kind of a little bit of everything. It wasn't just one thing. It was kind of like you, me, Jessica, Biggie, like it was all these different things. Like, it was like so mixed. It was really great. I mean,
that's what's to me that is a New York to me. New York is there's no color, no boundary, no judgment. Everybody was there. From every industry. It doesn't matter from like the banking, uptown, downtown, midtown, Brooklyn.
Yeah, Donatella Versace, Tupac, all these different things. Madonna, And then during that time, you know, was anybody kind of showing you, because, you know, you really are a visionary in a lot of ways and kind of paved your own way, but was anybody kind of helping you or mentoring you or paving the way, helping you pave your own way during that time? Could be like, you know, Dante or anybody, could be anybody, you know? Was anyone kind of helping you basically? Or were you just doing it on your own?
Actually, no, actually, I had a very, I had to pick up to all my girls who works at the record company in the industry and management. At the time, still hip hop was very dominant business, that there wasn't that many females around. So when I got the job BET, sometimes like, no, sometimes it was a challenging. It was just beginning of a hip hop business. So a lot of times artist doesn't show up, you know, a lot of times, you know, not supposed to happen, didn't happen. So all the record company female that I work from Jive Record, Bad Boy, Columbia, Sony, and I can't even, University, Def Jam record, all the female, the record industry people help me. Zenobia, if you're listening, Maria Ma for Visa, Sophia Chan for, you know, she, the first Asian lady works at Def Jam. Just so many of them, you know, help me because Zuhara, you helped me. Remember Zuhara? Thank you so much for those sisters to help me to get, you know, booking all the interview. And if it's canceled, they rebook it. They try to until I get the job done. And I can't thank those sisters enough. Yeah, they're hard workers.
That's great. Girl, sisterhood supporting each other. That's great.
Yeah, that was it. So I really thank them, you know, for it. And then Cha-Cha from Funk Master Flex office definitely helped too. There's just so many behind the scenes strong women behind it that you know, made this happen for me. So I can't thank them enough.
So what do you think, why do you think you're so passionate about culture? You in particular? Because
culture made me who I am.
Yeah, you are living, breathing, and devoted your whole life to culture like me. I've done the same thing. You know, that's a great answer. I could say the same thing. You know, it literally defines me as it defines you, I think. And so
sometimes I forget that my color was, because I am Mami Shirakawa, that I speak to you, Damon. I forget, like, oh yeah, you happen to be white, or are you Latino? Like, I don't think like that. I think of you as Damon, you know?
Yeah, I'm the same way. What is your dream job? What would be your dream job? You had a million jobs. What's your dream job?
Right now, actually, I'm writing my story about what I have done, because I think it's a time now to share. Also, writing is a therapy for me to sort of make me see where I am in my life. So everything that I say so speedy, you know, everything, but it's a lot deeper than that. You know, there was a message for agenda, cultural. I lived through the LA riots. You know, I remember I got a phone call from my mother's Korean church lady, told me, no, do not go to buy kimchi in Koreatown because it's a war happening. And I turned on news and I was heartbroken. It was everything burning down at Koreatown. You know, Ronnie King and Korean men's on the gun pointing out, you know, the people, and I have to wear a mask to drive down. You know, I have to do, I did a story for Japan, you know, for news reporting, you know, what's been happening, and, you know, and being supported by urban culture, the versus, you know, at the time was like Korean, you know, it was more than that, you know, the police with Ronnie King started with a Korean lady, you know, shot, you know, the little girl, the, you know, African-American little girl, and it was just chaotic, and I was so heartbroken because I was supporting that culture to be so unity, and I had to get down to see what's been happening, and it was a war zone, you know. So right now I wrote I'm writing a story about it, and I'm almost finished, and then sort of layers of my story, but touch with the culture and social activity and elements that are, you know, censorship happened, the, you know, feminine, you know, message. And right now it's K-pop is really popular, but before the K-pop, there's a Japanese hip-hop is behind it to help K-pop to be pushed further. So I'm writing a story about it because I'm ready to share, you know.
Good, that's great. I mean, I think lots of people I've had on here, you know, Jessica included, people like that. I encourage you know, Lisa Cooper. Most people should be writing books, you know.
Oh, Lisa Cooper, Belinda, Lisa Cooper has so many stories, my lord.
Yes. Did you watch either one of their talks?
I missed it. I saw
okay.
Jessica and everything, but Lisa and Belinda, okay, another thing. Lisa and Belinda is like my New York inspiration also. To me, they are true downtown New York soul. While Belinda, bring it to the scene, while Lisa, who she is, as an icon, not only stylist is a part of Lisa, just a little tiny bit. She's more dynamic. She's dynamic as an icon culture to me. She is downtown to me,
I agree with you 100%. I said she's probably one of the coolest girls New York has ever seen, ever, in the history of New York City.
She is a New Yorker, 100%.
And she also inspired me when I first moved to New York. I said, I want to have like what she has, like this lifestyle. So I think they're very inspirational. Both of them are so important to New York culture. Both of them.
To me, yes, I can't wait if they do documentary, because I'm the first one to buy a ticket to go see it, because people need to know. I get goosebumps. People need to know what they have experienced. Before we moved to New York, they were in New York already. Keith Harris, you name it, everything. Just every culture in New York represent from the art, they're right next to it. They're partying with them. And I can't wait for Lisa, Belinda to do documentary. I literally, like, it's gonna be it. It's amazing,
Crazy Legs just joined, by the way.
Hey, Legs, what's up? Mami Chan, what's up, Legs? I miss you.
She's been shouting you out the whole time, Legs. And then you moved back to Japan when? When did you move back?
Little after Lehman Shock. So it was like 4 or 5 years ago. Lehman Shock. I remember it was Lehman Shock.
And then why did you move back?
Because it was a lot of things, but main thing is Asia. It was start making buzzing, like Singapore, Macau, Hong Kong, and my backyard. Everything that was about the whole culture to Asia from U.S. Asia was start making buzzing, and they needed someone like myself who's fully like experiencing culture.
So you're very well versed in all. You mean so?
Right. So I thought that why not going back my backyard, and then Asia, like I lived in Singapore. I go to Hong Kong, Basel all the time, and I bought a sort of entertainment to Singapore, fashion designer to Singapore and Japan is always my heart, and And I just, and I love it, because next thing you know, I was worried that, I'm not going to see my friends anymore. And minute that I moved to Asia, oh my God, every single month and weeks, people goes, oh, I'm coming to Japan. Oh, I'm coming to Hong Kong. Oh, like literally Pharrell and like Burjo, and I'm talking about everybody here, like every month. And then I don't feel like, I was like, oh my God, you're here. I didn't say you're here again, but I'm like, oh my God, you're back again. I feel like I wasn't ready yet. You just left. Like, it's like the people are back here all the time. So I said, and I'm more busy now, because they're like, oh, mommy, take me to best sushi, take me to best beef. So me and Shing has been really busy hosting every weekend.
First of all, Shin was a terrible host when I was in Japan. I only came one time. We came for 3 days. He was a terrible host. We want to go shopping, and we don't know. So he was supposed to take us out. Every day he came to my party. We would leave, me and DJ Rashida would leave around, 2:33, maybe 3 a.m. We'd have 2 drinks, maybe 3 drinks max the whole night. He'd say, I'm going to stay, one more drink. You know how that one did. He stayed till freaking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I would start calling him 11, 12, 1, 2 p.m., nothing. Around 7, 8 o'clock at night, the phone would ring. He'd be like, oh, I just woke up. I'm like, oh, God. So then he would just come back to our party each night, but he never took us around the daytime, not one time. He was a terrible host.
You know who to call me.
I know, right?
I wake up early, and I don't drink much. Like when she drinks, she's a Jackie Chan. You know what that word? I don't have to say. I don't have to translate that word. Yeah.
And then, what do you miss about New York? What's the main thing you miss about New York?
I miss my friends. I'm not gonna lie. I have a very good friends, amazing friends, best friends. Everybody lives in New York, and New York made me who I am. I must say.
Yeah.
And in Japan, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an outspoken, outgoing lady that sometimes I give them culture shock. Yeah. When I'm in New York, I don't feel culture shock. Like everybody sound. I don't want to say everybody sound like me, but everybody, like a New York thing. New York. I don't want to call attitude, but New York.
In Japan, you're probably very bold. In New York, you're just you fit right in. You mean
I
you're
feel
one of
right
us?
in. I don't feel like a stranger, not stranger, but in Japan, my friends that know, but when I walk into the meeting, all the men sitting there, it takes a minute. They have to look at me like, what? Like
Good for
I gave them culture shock.
Good for you.
Yeah,
You're
so
being
I
yourself.
had to shake
Listen,
them up, you know.
you're being yourself and you're being free, which is what you said you learned from hip hop at 14 years old. So there you go. Good for
That's
you.
right. That's right. They had to, that's right.
I wanna something near and dear to my heart. I want to congratulate you. I talked to Frank Roberts today, but you also told me you are the director of culture and entertainment at the Edition Japan, right?
Yes, I am actually. As a matter of fact, I'm very excited about it, and I could get to work with my favorite brothers in Frank. I mean, like I watched the Frank's interview, and it was great. You asked a great question, and also Frank is another icon to me. You know, he's a New Yorker, and I was living at the Rose Bar. I started Rose Bar, me, everybody, and I go to all the parties afterwards, you know. But and I could get to work with Frank. I'm so excited. So we are opening in September, and Olympic was supposed to happen, but you know, cross the finger, it's supposed to be next year. And we are, planning to open edition part 2 in Ginza. So we're waiting for everybody to come visit me. I mean, yeah.
I love the Edition as a brand. You know, Ian Schrager to me is in my top 3 inspirations of my whole life.
Yes,
Ian
I
Schrager,
forgot to mention. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that Ian as well. Yes.
Yes, Ian is amazing, and I've gotten to work with Frank and I have a long working history, over 20 years working together, and I got to do a couple of the last couple Edition openings in the United States, and they're just amazing, incredible. I love that brand so much, as I'm sure you do as well, and they really do it right because it's all Ian's like driving it all. It's all Ian's, Ian's vision. So like, I'm sure the Japanese opening will be amazing. So I'm really excited for that too.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it is. When I definitely, it's a new hotel experience for Japan because a lot of people in Japan don't get to experience like the culture hotel. And I think Ian Schweiger introduced to the world the lifestyle culture, the people that party, people that hang out at the hotel. Even though back in the day when I used to go to Winter Music Conference, Delano, Show Club, because I also grew up on house music too. Everything that he created, Mondrian in LA, Miami, he bought the whole culture to hang out in a hotel. And I'm so proud and I'm so excited to share that with my Japanese sister and brothers, looking forward to it.
You're definitely the right person for the job. I'm very excited for you because, you are, culture comes out of your pores, which is exactly, I know that brand and that's what they love. So I'm really excited for you.
Thank you. I can't wait to come visit.
I'm definitely going to come. We'll do some fun parties. I also,
we did for sure. I have to shake it up with Shin. He's being like, anyway, but that's not a story, but yeah, we'll shake him up.
You're right.
Yeah.
We're not Shin, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you a couple fun questions. 5 best rappers of all time.
5 rappers?
5 best rappers in the world.
Best rapper. Okay. Nas, Rakim, Jay-Z, KRS-One, and there's so many. But can I do male and female?
Sure.
Okay, and then I'm missing one. Favorite that I always listen to, Chuck D. I like Chuck D. And Ice Cube too.
But that 5 was great. I agree with all 5 of those. I love all 5 of the ones you mentioned. So
she's so hip hop. I mean, come on. I hang out with Zulu Nation all the time, so I can't go any deeper than that.
Ooh, top 5 female.
I love, I've been listening to old school like MC Light album. Oh, she's so classic. She's great, and I love Yo-Yo too.
You too.
Remember?
Yeah.
And I love Moni Love too. Oh, she's such a great native town. Moni Love,
Yeah.
And then Queen Latifah, I love.
Yes. Yep.
Of course. And then I like Nikki D too. And And then I love Salt and Pepper. I mean, I consider them as an MC also. And am I missing like a few? I'm missing like one more.
I love Roxanne Shante.
Roxanne Shante too. And then
Claudine Joseph, I think, is on here, and she was on here earlier. She with LL Cool J, and they launched Rock the Bells Radio.
Yeah.
And for me, it's gotten for me personally, it's kind of made a resurgence in my own, musical taste right now. I'm so into that like early 80s hip hop, because we grew up on like Tupac, Biggie, Lil' Kim. That's our era. But like, when we were little kids, it was Run DMC and all that, Houdini and stuff. But I've gotten into all that because of Rock the Bells radio. It's really good. You should listen to it. Sirius XM. Yeah, it's great.
Somebody mentioned that. I think Pharrell. Felix the house cat. What's up, Felix? Oh,
what up, Felix?
What's up? Love you too. Thank you for listening.
5 best parties ever. I know that's a hard one.
Wow. Well, one of the
what just jumps out at the top of your head? Don't overthink it.
Okay, all right. Winter Music Conference. Danny Tenegria, Yoko Ono, Grace Jones. On 11 a.m. in the morning, from night before, I walk in there, 3 in the morning. I left like 2 days later. I can't even remember. Like that was like. The Art Basel, during the Art Basel, Danny Tenegria played like 48 hours, I think, or longer than that. And Yoko Ono came with a blind swing and Grace Jones on the stage. And Yoko and Grace has a very interesting relationship. It's like almost sister and little sister, or mother and daughter. I think I know Sean because he used to be in play band with Chibomato.
Who's older, Yoko?
Yoko Ono, 100%.
Okay.
And I feel like, Felix said, that's right. Many nights in Ibiza, DZ10. Woo! Of course, I danced my ass off. And Felix, you know it. And what's the other one is, Palladium. When the Beastie Boys, Wu-Tang Clan, and Blondie played, Queen Latifah, was a all music seminar in New York, in Tommy Boy Records party, I think. That was like, and Queen Latifah showed up with a motorcycle, and they introduced None by Nature, Palladium. That was really hot. And then Wu-Tang Clan and ODB and Method Man jumped from second floor. It wasn't really punk scene that nobody know how to catch it, the crowd, so they hit the floor, I think. And then I remember so many moments. Bad Brains in a CBGB. With Fishbones live, and a Sinister live, and Mellow Manson on Roseland. And like I said, I was in it. Ozzy Fest with the Metallica. I thought their live was like I got gunshot. It was so powerful, the guitar and bass. Oh my God! Like I have so much moment. You know what? I go to a hip hop concert. I go to rock show after. Like I was like punk rock, and I was.
That's cool.
I grew up on both. Like this is New York to me. No boundary. Everybody goes to everything. As long as there's soul and music, and everybody was so nice. And I always get drink tickets, so I get drink. Thank you for everyone. Oh, the Pearl's here. Hi, Pearl. Oh, I miss Pearl. And Yuki and Pearl too. Yuki used to live behind my building, so we used to hang out also, of course.
Yuki and Pearl, you're right. That's the crew. Okay, so if you could invite 4 people to dinner, living or dead, who would it be?
4 people to dinner, my lord. Friends? I'm sure everybody say that.
Not everybody.
Say, yeah, okay, Michael Jackson. I'm sure.
Everyone says Bob Marley. Most people say Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, okay, Prince, Michael Jackson, and to me, also Diana Ross too. Oh, she's alive, right? Still, I'm sorry. Is this somebody who's still alive or who's not?
She's still alive, yes.
No, but are you asking me about somebody
dead or alive? Dead or alive, it's fine.
Okay. I'll try to base on somebody who's not with us. Oprah Winfrey.
That's a great. I would love to come to that dinner. I'll be your guest.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'm working on it though.
Good.
With my story,
Is there? What are you grateful for at this moment?
My health and my family, because I got sick when I moved to Asia. It was a God calling. I didn't realize, but I got sick, and Japan was a perfect place to be healthy, eating well, awareness and conscious environment in Japan is very rich because we have a hot spring and very healthy diet. So, I got treated in Japan and I recover better. So I think it's for my health and my family, because my family was there for me and it was perfect timing, when I went back to Japan. Because sometimes New York, you push yourself and then without your health, knowing like your body is telling you, slow down, because New York tell you to push.
Well, girl, I think the world told us to slow down right now, not just New York. The world's like, y'all are slowing down. New York or not, y'all slowing down. And then what inspires you right now in your life? Not, necessarily Corona, but like in the last year or two.
What inspires me? Oh, music. I think, music is very, I'm not going to lie, in the lockdown and, Olympic cancel and everything in a world is in hold, like you're scared to death. Like I'm sure you're in New York for September 11. It's kind of like you stop for a moment and then you're scared, you're confused, you don't know what's going to happen next day. But very like, music really heals me. Like, Bob Marley, everything's gonna be all right. The simple song, it put me smile. And I was like, and then no woman, no cry. And also, remember the song? Don't worry, be happy now. I was just, and I went back to my joint.
That was Bobby McFerrin.
Yeah, Bobby McFerrin, exactly. And I remember the music video too. It's so simple. You have to be as simple. And, and simple, gentle, and that's how you get, well and better in your life, Music helped me, for sure.
Great. Well, where you started is where you are now.
I'm back to my roots. And my roots, and I'm so happy,
Well, I said this time for me, this like past 6 months, not that I wasn't being myself, but it gave me the opportunity to really get back to myself in a lot of ways. I feel more creative and more myself than I have in probably the last couple of years. So,
and I want to thank you, and we want to thank you. You started this Legendary Damon talk. It has been and it happened during the lockdown. It was a positive. What you decided to do. And my favorite thing was you're the person at the door, but you always have a conversation. You talk to people. You don't just say, you go in. No, you treat everybody equal, and you have a conversation. That's New Yorker to me also. Remember the king at the door? Zoe, you, people who them like, oh, they're asshole, they're bitch. No, they're real. They talk to you. And you're the one of them. I'm so glad that you started this Legendary Damon talk, because a lot of people in the community in New York like us needs to hear that.
Yep.
And you made my day, literally.
Great. I appreciate that. Initially, March 29th is the first night I started. This is my 85th talk, by the way. I'm going to do my 100th talk in about 2 weeks. But I started to really take people's minds out of it for a second and celebrate culture. So, but it kind of took a life of its own. It's gone in a really good direction.
And your birthday is unbelievable. When you came with a horse one year, and oh my God, Shin, every time Shin tells Japanese fashion people, it's like, you don't know my friend David? If you go to his birthday party, it's a life changer. Oh my God. Hey, what's up, Joseph? I mean, literally, I know you're late. I just told you about my the memorable party moment was like Danny Tenegri at 48 Hours, Yoko Ono, and Grace Jones. And you were at the party too, I remember, Joseph.
He's always late, by the way. Hi, Joseph. He's always late. Wait, so first of all, I really want to congratulate you on that job. I know you're going to do great. It's a really great place for you to be, and I'm really excited for you and to come celebrate it as well. I can't wait to come and experience the Japanese edition. I'm really excited about that.
Thank you.
And then we're here to celebrate people that have been really important to culture. Based off of the last hour of conversation, I think it's very clear why we're celebrating you. Like I said, you're like me. You devoted your whole life to culture, and you have been extremely passionate about music and bridging people together. You've been a liaison between Japan and New York and hip hop for many years, but it's what you said more importantly. It's the New York scene where everyone was just themselves and everyone accepted each other during that time. And I think you've been a freedom fighter of that your whole life. And and also, I think that you said you kind of stand out in Japan, but I think that's your that's your charm. That's your brilliance. That's going to make you more successful, is the fact that you don't fit in per se, and that you are yourself and outspoken probably, and but you have, you know, you have history and you can back it up. You know, if you're saying something, you have 25 years of receipts to back it up. So good for you.
Thank you. That encouraged me a lot. And I'm really excited to take the role for Director of Culture and Entertainment. And then I could get to perform and use my experience and skill to share more. And it's open up for the world so people could come visit me now. You know, it's time for you guys to come to Japan to visit.
Okay, I'm coming.
I know.
And then one more thing, we have 4 minutes left. I ask everybody on the show, you know, people have not been working. It's been a really weird time. How can we support you right now? You. Is there any way we can support you?
Just keep blessing and sending the light on me, and I feel lights, you know. And I definitely, you know, come visit. Like right now, how can you support me? Once hotel's open, come see me. We're gonna do the good party, and I want my brother Frank to come. So it's gonna be a family affair. Okay.
All right, my darling. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing this. I know it's in Japan. It's not like you're up the block. You're across the world, and I really appreciate you doing this. And I know you're going to do great at that job. But I really want to just say thank you for being the cultural conduit and the person that has been, you know, so important to culture, basically. So
thank
that's
you.
what I want to thank you for.
No,
right.
Thank you too. And let's keep going with it. This is who we are. You know, it's nothing more.
Exactly.
So. Thank you for having me. We're
not changing.
I guess we look the same, huh?
Yeah, we do. All right. Thank you, man. I love you.
Everybody
have a good
Joseph, legs, and Felix.
I was going to say have a good night, but have a good day. It's the morning
That's right.
there. So
have a good night, guys.
Bye, Boo.